It's beer o'clock on Reload Craft Beer. Today we got a beer from Siren Craft Brew, and it's a bottle of their White Tips White IPA. It's a wit beer with IPA hopping. It's 4.5% ABV. There's a look at the nice label. There's a look at the Siren bottle cap. Let's get the beer out into a glass and see what we get. Nice bit of smoke on the opening. Beer in the glass then. Oh wow, look at this lovely clear beer. Just checking it's not bottle conditioned. I'm going to leave the last little bit of that beer in the bottle. I want to show you how clear and lovely looking this beer looks. So crisp, nicely carbonated, golden, one finger of white head. Slightly pale coloured. It looks like a wit beer, to be honest, but it's really clear, really nice and clear. Should we get the aroma? Yes, you get that German wit yeast in the beer. You get a little kind of slightly banana estery aroma there. Little tiny pinch of clove. And then American hops. And a little bit of wheat. Should we dive in? Cheers. .5%. Oh, nice bitterness on the back end. Yes, wit beer. A little bit of banana, a little bit of clove, mixed with the American hops. It's a tough one to get right, this. It can either taste like a menthol mouthwash, or it can taste like a wit beer with American hops. And I think this has got a little bit of both in it. You get a little touch of that mouthwash, that menthol kind of minty mouthwash. Only a touch, but then you can get past that in your mind. You can gauge past that and think to yourself, actually, if I break this down in my mind, it's wit beer with American hops. But I think if this beer was bought by, for argument's sake, my father, who drinks John Smith's, I don't think he would fully understand the style. I think he would go, it tastes a little bit like mouthwash. And although it's just a touch, for an absolute amateur beer drinker like my father who drinks John Smith, it's enough. It's wheaty, malty, very refreshing at 4.5% ABV. I think, to be honest, I think it could be a little bit more wheat. It could be a little bit more wheat beery, if you like. I'm going to check if it's bottle conditioned. It is bottle conditioned. This might actually help the brew completely. This might kind of change everything for me. Get that yeast in there and add a little bit more of that kind of wit beer flavour. Let's try it now with the yeast in. Much better, much better. My mistake. I don't mind standing here on YouTube and admitting sometimes that mistakes do get made. Still, I mean, we review so many beers on the channel. It's easy to sometimes overlook something like this. Of course, wheat beers, you should be adding the yeast to the beer. It's just an example that I'm a human being after all. Okay. An example then of a wit beer is to pour all of the yeast in, swirl it around, get it in, don't leave any of that yeast out, because it changed the beer somewhat. It was slightly confusing for me, but with that yeast, Much better example. Much better example of a wit beer. The beer is transformed. The beer is absolutely transformed. It's made quite an interesting video, actually, in that a beer with the yeast added and without added, you can kind of gauge what kind of beer you're going to get. I'm going to go ahead and rate it. I like the citrus, the hoppy bitterness on the back end, the citrus, the grapefruit from the American hops, a little bit of peach and mango, and I love the fact that it's got this lovely kind of banana-y wheat beer, slightly clovey flavour to begin with. It's a good beer. It's a good beer. I'm going to rate it. With the yeast out, probably 7. With the yeast in, as it should be, I'm going to give it, it's an 8 out of 10. It's an 8 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Put your comments in the comments box. Please subscribe to our daily beer reviews, and cheers!